Hello there. Much to the disappointment of some, and let's be honest, to the joy of others, Thursday, August 25th was my last day on Shirts and Skins with Chad and Trey on 104.9 The Horn. For those more familiar with my work on Books on Pod, that's a sports talk radio station in Austin, Texas that I've worked at for the last 7.5 years. I've taken several days to process what happened and to think of how to best earnestly address it. As much as I love conducting interviews, now feels like a good time to turn the tables on myself, to answer the questions asked by those of you nice enough to reach out by phone, on social media, and even at the grocery store over the last several days. So here goes. Question number 1. Why are you no longer at the Horn? At the end of Thursday's show, I was fired. Jason Nasur, owner of Austin Radio Network, put it much more respectfully than that and even graciously offered me the chance to put a delicate spin on things. But a big part of learning from failure is owning your piece of why it happened. And whether you say let go, shit canned, kicked to the curb, or promoted to listener, fired is fired. The station and company are seriously expanding their Central Texas high school sports coverage, and I don't care enough about high school sports. This is exactly what I was told, and both things are true. Does more nuance typically go into a decision like this? Yes. But I can only go on the rationale provided to me. For what it's worth, I hope the high school sports plan works for everyone involved. You can check out their coverage for yourself at flexatx.com. Question number 2. How are you doing? Believe it or not, I'm at peace with what happened and thankful to ARN for the last 7.5 years. They've allowed me to fulfill a childhood dream of hosting my own radio show twice. First, with Midday with Trey and BK, and more recently with Shirts and Skins. I could have been let go at any point over the last 2.5 years, but I wasn't, and I've benefited enormously as an on-air host during that time. Question number 3, what will you do next? I honestly don't know. Continue in radio? Maybe. Go work for Dell? Probably not, though there are much worse options. Deliver pizza at Domino's, if my kids get their wish. Drive your child's school bus. In your nightmares, though it would make for great content. Until the end. Dark humor aside, I've learned something the past few years. Something that kids who are encouraged to pursue their dreams are rarely informed of. Whether you reach that proverbial mountaintop or not, the pursuit of those passions often inspires new dreams. And this newfound zeal now powers me forward, including putting my heart and soul into Books on Pod, a podcast that speaks with authors, filmmakers, comedians, and other interesting people about their stories. In the last year, I've been honored to talk stand-up with guys like Jeff Ross, Neil Brennan, Mark Normand, Marlon Wayans, and the late, great Bob Saget. I've taken to the South by Southwest red carpet to give the Wilfred Brimley treatment to Ron Howard. Ask Tony fucking Hawk about his unofficial middle name. I dad joked the shit out of Sheryl Crow and mocked Robin Ventura to Nolan Ryan. And I've spoken with an array of authors on subjects ranging from gender through the eyes of a primatologist, to Ron Shelton's oral history of Bull Durham, to solving the homelessness crisis through the mistakes of San Francisco and California, the intertwined histories of jazz and the mob, and even the professional race car driver who concurrently became one of the largest international pot smugglers in U.S. history. Shameless promotion time. New and old episodes are available at booksonpod.com, the Books on Pod YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Books on Pod. Oh, and check out my feature in the latest edition of Edible Austin, a free magazine focused on food in Central Texas, available in restaurants across the area. My feature is called Friday Night Bites, where I provide food suggestions near high school stadiums across the greater Austin area. I'm eternally grateful for the last 7+ years at the Horn, for old friendships reignited, for new friendships formed, and for you people. Tuning in as I satirize my time in Chicago, Drink Up, Longhorn Sports, Professional Weather Guessers, Selena's Pop Music Ceiling, George Strait's Worth since the mid-1990s, temporary vaccine efficacy in the face of draconian mandates, things getting 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. And yes, occasionally sports. Thanks for allowing me to keep Austin Sports Radio weird.